Part 27. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Chingjomi Se. Chapter 263. Su Mo and Chen Shen gradually lost their hypocritical politeness and followed Chen Shen's gaze to look at the phone. What? Zhao Chunsheng took the script to find Huanyu for cooperation? This information turned a corner in her head, and Su Mo laughed out loud. You are so bad. For Su Mo, being Qin Fangyu is the easiest investment since she started her career. She does not believe in investing only money. Investors who only invest money, even if the company is successful, are willing to watch you take away a lot of money. That's why there is a saying that investment is also investing in people. Even the stock god has started a business himself. Of course, the most difficult step in catering is to attract customers. After this step is broken through, it will be very simple, but Su Mo has other intentions. She has always been fully committed and working overtime every day, but in fact her main focus is on Huanyu. So the moment she saw this information, Su Mo understood that Zhao Chunsheng went to find Huanyu, and it would be strange if Chen Shen didn't participate in it. What's wrong with me? I'm just helping others in need, Chen Shen retorted. Su Mo smiled but said nothing. She was still worried about something. Now it seems that Chen Shen has considered it. Zhou Gaiken's message is still being sent. I tell you, people in this society are sinister and profit-seeking. You should be careful of the people around you in the future. Zhao Chunsheng took advantage of the fact that Huanyu lacked projects. I heard that Yang Qingqing will also come to Yuzhou in 2 days. I guess he will do something big. What I am afraid of now is that Zhao Chunsheng will stand on Huanyu's side and say that you are wrong. This is more effective than any public relations. Think about it, isn't it terrible? Chen Shen began to type a reply. Thank you, Akan, you are still the best to me. Haha, right, I am like this, especially in the past, I value brotherhood the most, just know it. There is one more thing, someone from Penguin will come tomorrow, and invite you to have a meal together, they may want to talk about it openly. Chen Shen, do you know who is coming? Zhou Gaiken, I don't know, it's okay, I will be there at that time, brother will protect you. Chen Shen put down his phone. In fact, it doesn't matter who comes. Times have changed. Now we can talk openly if we can. If we can't talk, we can talk about other things. Why did Chen Shen have to get Zhao Chunsheng to Huanyu now? It was also to give Huanyu bargaining chips and let Huanyu feel that he could control him at will. As for the people from Penguin coming here now, do they want to get their contracts now? But they didn't say hello to me. Don't think about it. Their attitude is definitely biased towards you. Su Mo's voice sounded, and the last small piece of steak was put into her mouth. It's not a big problem. Chen Shen understood Su Mo's hint. Whether it was from the standpoint of Huanyu or Penguin, this game was set up against Chen Shen. But Su Mo complained in her heart that some people were unpleasant for a reason. After a few text messages came, all the atmosphere was gone. She actually knew about this at noon. Pengchen was Su Mo's base camp. Although people of the same age could not play together, their elders were spread across various industries. The person from Penguin was Myrna, whose full name was Tan's Hiking. Su Mo complained that the destroyed atmosphere did not affect Chen Shen, but affected herself. She had chatted with Myrna on WeChat for a few words, but the conversation was not successful. This woman obviously had her eyes on Chen Shen, otherwise she would not come, and she had not informed Chen Shen in advance about this matter. Su Mo's tolerance for Xiaoqing II and the others does not mean that she has tolerance for others. To be a bit narcissistic, Su Mo felt that it was difficult for other opposite sexes in the world to get along with the person she liked without having any thoughts. Chen Shen was cleaning the dishes on the table and glanced at Su Mo inadvertently. He was a little confused. How could she be so gentle just now and suddenly become sharp? What bad things did I do? Chen Shen sat back slowly. How about I order another one? Su Mo came back to her senses. What? Chen Shen, I said you are really beautiful. Su Mo snorted softly, then stood up and walked straight to the door. Chen Shen was confused. Did I really offend her? What did I do just now? I wasn't angry when I went to find Xia King Ai, but now I'm angry. Outside the restaurant, Su Mo looked back at Chen Shen and saw Chen Shen frowning and thinking. There was a little smile on his face. He wasn't angry, but just inexplicably substituted. Su Mo felt that Chen Shen's nature contained the word affectionate. Su Mo used to define this kind of affection as a scumbag, but changed it to affection after she fell in love with him. Su Mo had a good impression of him after this cognition, and then she began to make up for him in her mind. Now suddenly there was an outsider, and it was a woman with a very unique personality, beautiful and strong. Su Mo seemed to automatically substitute into the opponent. The smile after sobering up was that she felt that Chen Shen's affection was actually different. He might not understand how he became like this. For example, Mian and Su Yuan, these two were purely passive. One was a coincidence of getting close to each other, and the other was a compromise after being deceived. Su Mo didn't think Chen Shen liked Su Yuan very much, but if he had to be with Su Yuan, he would definitely be able to do it. This is the essence of this man. What Su Mo is uncertain about Chen Shen now is what about the people who come after him, the people who are not in the love show, will it be the same? This uncertainty is the reason why Su Mo snorted at him. She felt that if she was with Chen Shen, she would have to worry a lot and fend off a lot of women. This emotion itself is another reason why Su Mo smiled. Did she think about these things before? Even analyze her emotions? And re-recognize herself? It seems that she hasn't been in this state for a long time. However, Su Mo does not reject this state because she feels younger. Chen Shen. Su Mo called Chen Shen. Chen Shen looked over. Su Mo smiled and said, "Exercise is very effective. I am getting more and more handsome." Before Chen Shen could figure it out, he was suddenly praised. He instinctively smiled on his face, but before he responded, Su Mo disappeared at the door. Chen Shen scratched his head and shrugged after a long time. "See, I said I'm not a scumbag. Obviously, I don't understand these little emotions of Sister Mo." Su Mo ran because she didn't want Chen Shen to see that she had such a shy side. Why did she praise? One is to respond to his previous inexplicable praise of her good looks, and the other is to tell him that it's okay and don't think about it. Chen Shen's thinking is very important to Su Mo. As long as he thinks he is wrong, he will start to take on everything. Su Yuan's so-called Yuan trilogy and Xia King Ai song for fans are all the result of his thinking. Those two idiots don't know how to feel sorry, but I do. Su Mo pushed open the door of the suite and muttered as she closed it, "I'll reward you if you pass this level. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me?" Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 264. Zhou Gaikan arrived at the company in the afternoon, dressed in a suit and tie, very formal. After the promotion, he wanted to do something big, but was hit. If it was normal, he would also arrive at the company at 9 o'clock on Saturday, but now he doesn't have that energy. He came here just for the sake of formality. The stock market crashed too much, so he worked overtime to show some attitude. Fortunately, today is Saturday, the stock market is closed, and there is not so much pressure. Although Zhou Gaikan knew that Zhao Chunsheng was looking for a company to cooperate, he had not met Zhao Chunsheng yet. He did curse Zhao Chunsheng in his heart many times. Isn't this a conscienceless person? Without Chen Shen, your show can be so popular? Turn around and take advantage of the fire? From the perspective of the market, he can also understand Zhao Chunsheng. Indeed, at this time, no company needs him more than Huan Yu. It is not an exaggeration to say that he is helping others in need. This is another reason why Zhou Gaikan is sad. So, Zhao Chunsheng also thinks that the platform is more important than everything? As a director, it is obvious that Director Che is more lovely. So Director Che is going downhill? Zhao Chunsheng is flying, Zhou Gaikan muttered. As the only person who could contact Chen Shen, Zhao Jingquan gave Zhou Gaikan full authority to arrange this dinner. How can such a party be arranged? If it is not done well, there will be a lot of messy influences. Zhou Gaikan can only arrange it conservatively in Huanyu's internal canteen. Huanyu's own canteen has high standard reception configurations, and many projects are negotiated at home. It happened to be Saturday, and everyone was given a holiday. There were basically no idle people in the company. At 5 o'clock, a group of leaders of Huanyu stood at the door of Huanyu building, and a black business car drove over from the outside gate. Zhou Gaikan also stood at the door, but in a relatively side position. Zhao Jingquan and Zhao Ziazai were there, plus Chen Tianhui, himself and two ladies who specialized in reception. The specifications were not low. The business car stopped in front of everyone. The moment the door opened, Zhou Gaikan stared for a moment, and then immediately looked away. There was only one sentence in my mind: so beautiful. Who is it? Just a quick glance, I felt gentle and elegant, with extraordinary temperament. Zhao Jingquan came forward, looking a little surprised, but smiling. Long time no see, Mr. Tan. Tan's Hiking smiled and shook hands with Zhao Jingquan, and they parted at once. Long time no see, Mr. Zhao, today we are talking about things in your territory, please take care of me. Zhao Jingquan stretched out his hand and made an invitation gesture. I must have an idea, Mr. Tan, don't worry. A group of people walked inside, and Zhou Gaikan followed behind and dared to look at the people in front of him. Judging from their appearance alone, they were gentle and elegant, but at a glance, Zhou Gaikan had only seen this kind of aura in Su Mo. The most important thing is that he went alone, and it seemed that he didn't even bring an assistant. Zhou Gaikan only sent him to the elevator door, and then went back to the gate, because Chen Shen hadn't arrived yet. When he heard the boss mention Mr. Tan, Zhou Gaikan had a guess in his mind. Tan's Hiking was a vice president of the Penguin Video Project Department and also the leader of the entire Penguin Group's entertainment division. Zhou Gaikan had an impression of this person because of Xiaoqing II. It seemed that the girl group audition of Xiaoqing II was organized by Tan's Hiking, which was also the highest level girl group audition variety show in the industry. All the good talents of major entertainment companies were sent there, including Huanyu, but the one sent by Huanyu was lousy. So this Mr. Tan is so beautiful? Chen Shen, have you arrived? The main person here has arrived. I tell you, she is very beautiful, like a fairy. Soon, Chen Shen replied, is she as pretty as Xiaoqing II? Zhou Gaikan curled his lips. This bastard is really obsessed with Xiaoqing II. Damn, Xiaoqing II is also sick. He is still playing with this guy even after leaving the dating variety show. What's wrong with him getting close to Su Yuan? So, Xiaoqing II really wants to hook Chen Shen to Yuan? It's really weird. It's different. I feel that she is similar to Sister Mo. She is a big leader of Penguin and she is alone. You should pay attention. Soon, Chen Shen arrived. Zhang Benrui drove the Mercedes-Benz commercial vehicle to send him there. Chen Shen got out of the car and looked at the Huanyu building for a long time. It might be that it has been built for too long, and it feels a bit lifeless. Many places need to be changed. Zhou Gaikan pulled Chen Shen inside without saying a word, and reminded him as he walked, he came alone, which means he has a relationship with the company. The company chose to take the initiative to openly conflict with you, just to show goodwill to Penguin. In other words, you are likely to be sold to them by the company. You are the weakest party. Do you understand? Chen Shen hummed all the way. Zhou Gaikan was indeed a little anxious. He felt that he was the only one who could take care of Chen Shen in this situation. Now the relationship was okay, and it would be unreasonable not to take care of him. The rest of the people were in the same group, so what could they talk about? Zhou Gaikan even felt that he had guessed the script. Wasn't it that the beautiful President Tan said some polite words, and then let the two parties make peace, and finally bought Chen Shen like a great benefactor? Maybe this is why the platform is greater than the individual. On the far right of the second floor, there is a large private room, which is as well decorated as a luxury hotel. When Chen Shen entered, there was no one inside. Zhou Gaikan asked him to wait for a moment while he went to call Zhao Jingquan and the others. Chen Shen also understood that when a distinguished guest from afar came, he should be brought to the company for a tour. He sat in the reception room, not directly in the restaurant. The table was a solid wood round table, and the lights were on, so you could see the light but not the lights. There were tea and snacks on the table, and Chen Shen was not polite. He just found a seat and started pouring tea for himself. There was actually nothing to do in the company. Zhao Jingquan took Tan's hiking to the reception room, the kind of reception room with single sofas facing each other. Tan's hiking wore a brown coat, and her face looked gentle and elegant, but she had a strong aura. It was okay to talk about some random things, such as various projects and the development direction of Huanyu, but when Zhao Jingquan said that another S-level project was about to be launched, Tan's hiking was very surprised, especially when the person who was working on this project was Zhao Chunsheng. She really didn't know about this. Wasn't she on vacation? How could the cooperation be negotiated? Besides, what is the relationship between Chen Xiaoza and Huanyu now? Is it appropriate for Zhao Chunsheng to do this? Someone knocked on the door. Tan's hiking looked at the door and frowned slightly. He looked a little familiar. He reacted and almost laughed. Isn't this ugly brother? Why didn't I notice it before? Tan's hiking, also known as Myrna, was a little addicted to the finale of the Love variety show. She watched it again from beginning to end during this period. She knew all these people in the Love variety show. She had approached Su Yuan and really wanted to sign him, but Su Yuan disagreed and insisted on listening to Chen Shen, asking her to ask Chen Shen. She refused and asked herself to ask Chen Shen. However, Zhou Wenbei had already made an agreement, and Tan's hiking was going to find a variety show to get Zhou Wenbei in when he was free to test the waters. Fang Ye was tough and didn't want to rely on the popularity of the Love variety show. These were all side dishes, and she came to Yezhou for the main course. Chen Xiaoza, it was hard for Tan's hiking to ignore this person. Su Mo seemed to be obsessed with him and was very protective of him. She didn't want Chen Xiaoza to go to Penguin. Of course, with the song Late Marriage, it was really hard not to be obsessed. Tan's hiking came alone. This time, what Tan's hiking cared about most was not Huanyu, but Su Mo. Su Mo still stayed in Yuzhou. On the surface, she didn't care about Chen Shen and Huanyu, but secretly warned herself not to hit on Chen Shen. What does it mean? This is also the reason why Tan's hiking came alone. Since she couldn't figure it out, she took a risk and met Chen Xiaoza in a more sincere way. Mr. Tan, you are here. Please come in. Don't worry, I know what I am doing and I won't embarrass you. Zhao Jingquan stood up and invited. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 265. The door of the box was pushed open, and Chen Shen sat still on the side. As long as he turned his head, he could see the people coming in from the outside. The first one to come in was naturally Zhao Jingquan. He hadn't seen him for a long time and he was in good spirits. After he came in, Zhao Jingquan leaned aside and let in a woman wearing a brown coat behind him. Only then did Chen Shen understand why Zhou Gaikan had such a big reaction. He has a non-aggressive appearance and a gentle temperament. His dark clothes don't feel oppressive at all. They just feel very textured and add a bit of mature charm. The two looked at each other, and Chen Shen stood up. There was indeed a moment of doubt, is this the Myrna sister who calls herself Chen Xiaza? There seems to be a bit of a contrast. Chen Shen, this is Mr. Tan from Penguin Video, here for you. Chen Tianhui introduced. Chen Shen, hello. Tan's hiking, hello. A very simple greeting. Tan's hiking had a smile that seemed curious or inquiring. Where is Chen Shen? Poker face. Sit down and let them serve the food. It's getting late. Zhao Jingquan asked everyone to sit down. Coming from the door were Zhou Gaikan, Chen Tianhui, Chen Shen, Tan's hiking, Zhao Jingquan, and his son. The receptionist replaced the service staff. The person who served the food was delivered to the door, and then the receptionist put it on the table. Perhaps because he knew Tan's hiking's preferences, Zhao Jingquan also said he would not drink alcohol today. He didn't speak to Chen Shen the whole time. During the interval between serving the food, he kept talking to Tan's hiking about some good projects that came out of Penguin Video in the past 2 years. To put it bluntly, he just talked with Tan's hiking in his arms. The competition between the 3 major video platforms has always been intense, and now they are all trying their best to incubate content. Tan's hiking coped with it. Chen Shen felt that she was in contrast, but she didn't feel that Chen Shen was in contrast. Judging from the show, no one would doubt Chen Shen's emotional intelligence, but he didn't even smile upon contact. After all, they are also WeChat friends. Okay, how stingy. However, Tan's hiking could understand that she came suddenly and did not tell him about it. From Chen Shen's perspective, Tan's hiking felt that Chen Shen would most likely think that she was biased towards Joy. This matter is actually very subtle. Huanyu is a mature entertainment company that incubates content. Every year, even if it fails, there are online dramas and online movies on Penguin Video. It is a stable partner. Moreover, they first extended an olive branch and were willing to take a step back on Chen Shen's matter and contact Chen Shen privately, which was a bit overstepping the bounds. Another point is that Tan's hiking talk to Su Mo. Su Mo seemed to be very precious to Chen Shen. Who dares to talk about private things in private? Those who didn't know thought that Tan's hiking, was going to compete with Su Mo for a man. Tan's hiking also wanted to save face. When she looked at Su Mo, even if the song Late Marriage lifted the story between her and Chen Shen to a higher level, she still thought it was depravity. There was no doubt that Chen Shen was a scumbag. As he said himself, he had never I didn't lie to Su Mian, but what about the other people? Isn't Xia King I still ambiguous? Not to mention Su Yuan, if he met Chen Shen directly in private in this situation, the people in Pengcheng would be chewed up. Yo, Su Mo still doesn't know yet, is Tan's hiking jumping in again? Therefore, she could only get on the line with Chen Shen from Huanyu. Moreover, in Tan's hiking's view, this matter was just business, and she felt that she must be more professional than Su Mo. Tan's hiking herself is a non-marriage person. To say the least, even if she is interested in men, she will never be interested in scumbags. The table was also very subtle. Chen Tianhui may have noticed Chen Shen's general attitude. He lowered his head and leaned towards Chen Shen and said softly, since Mr. Tan joined Penguin Video, the content of the entire Penguin Video has been incubated to a higher level. In terms of variety shows, it goes without saying that Xia King II became popular under her hands, and in terms of online dramas, she adapted them in conjunction with the popular online novels, and several hits have been released. Chen Shen and Tan's hiking were the same. Tan's hiking said yes to Zhao Jingquan, and Chen Shen also said yes to Chen Tianhui. Doesn't Chen Shen know the origin of Tan's hiking? How can it be? Although Tan's hiking is only the vice president in the project department of Penguin Video, she is doing practical things. Why should she be transferred from Penguin Entertainment Division to Penguin Video? Just let her do content incubation. The Kiwi team has been gaining momentum in the past few years. Rap culture is their main promotion and it has become very popular. They also have representative comedy programs. They sent several people to the Spring Festival Gala. In terms of online dramas, they have a lot of high-quality works in small series. On Mango Video, decades of accumulation have been brought to the extreme. There are a bunch of similar programs like Brothers, Sisters, Singers, Actors, etc., which bring a group of people together and create huge popularity. This kind of program has been copied by Kiwi Video. But the response was average. No platform has done as well as Mango Video in this regard. For artists who have been famous for a long time, Mango Video is backed by Mango TV, which is the best endorsement. They trust Mango Video. What about Penguin Video? Although it is in full bloom, and animations, documentaries, variety shows, and online dramas are all being produced, it seems that there has never been any final work produced. The talk show culture they mainly promote has continued to explode, and now they don't dare to do it. Tan's hiking came from Penguin Video under this background and has great power. Why is Tan's hiking so interested in Chen Shen? It is because at the end of 2025, Love Lesson finally told the entire platform that in the romance drama segment that everyone is working on, everyone is a younger brother. In fact, it is not just romance drama, but all other programs in the same period are younger brothers. But this does not affect Chen Shen's attitude towards Tan's hiking. When you don't buy me, I can call you Sister Myrna. If you buy me now, I'm sorry, it can only be the respected Mr. Tan. I can't really be bought. That's still a joke. Maybe she really couldn't stand Zhao Jinkin's bragging. Tan's hiking turned her head and looked at Chen Shen. This is Mr. Zhao's flattery. I'm not as powerful as he said. Chen Shen raised his head. Oh. Chen Shen only replied one word, and Chen Tianhui looked a little stunned, then smiled bitterly. Zhao Jingquan and his son looked at each other, and the look on Zhao Ziyazai's face seemed to say, Dad, look, it's really not my fault that Chen Shen and I were having trouble. Who can stand such an arrogant attitude? Zhao Jingquan coughed and said with a smile, Xiao Chen, maybe there is a misunderstanding between us. Let's have a drink with tea instead of wine. You have your position, and I have mine. It just so happens that Mr. Tan is here, let's talk about it to avoid further misunderstandings. Chen Shen took a long breath and finally got back to the topic. He was holding himself back to death. Director Zhao, this is the first time we met, is there any misunderstanding? You said you would have dinner tonight, and I came over immediately. Where did the misunderstanding come from? Chen Shen looked at Zhao Jingquan. Zhao Jingquan, Zhao Ziyazai quit and interjected, Chen Shen, pay attention to the occasion. There are guests here today. This misunderstanding is naturally between you and me. If you feel unhappy, I can apologize to you. Chen Shen looked at Zhao Ziyazai again, then what misunderstanding are you talking about? Zhao Ziyazai, I asked you to come back from Hongdian because my knowledge of the situation is limited. However, when you first joined the company, I gave you a role as the third male lead, and it was an S-level project. From the company's perspective, I'm not bad at treating you right. Even if Urahama does something wrong, he still has to cause trouble and shut down the entire project? Chen Shen smiled, I understand. It turns out that the misunderstanding you mentioned is because I can't bear to be wronged. You Zhao Ziyazai choked. Zhao Jingquan continued, you can't say that. It's true that you were wronged, but you also vented your anger. Until the establishment of Huanyu, there has never been an incident where all the executives threw a cup in front of the whole company. For the company, it's also a bad thing, but we didn't pursue it because we understood your attitude. Chen Shen looked at Zhao Jingquan again, then I understand again. Director Zhao means that we are even. Then I will put aside the matter of Zhang Ying being fired. Please tell me, the company just sent this message without any communication to me. Lawyer's letter, what kind of misunderstanding is this? Zhao Jingquan also choked. Zhao Ziyazai originally wanted to show off in front of his father, be more generous, and apologize to Chen Shen in front of Transmigration to show the situation. As a result, I found out that there was no reason to say it, and now it seems that I deserve the apology. Transmigration was still mentally scolding Chen Shen for being stingy, but in the blink of an eye the scene turned into a large-scale melon-eating scene, with people coming and going, leaving Zhao Jingquan and Zhao Ziyazai speechless. Zhao Ziyazai was eager to get angry, but his foot was stepped on by Zhao Jingquan. Zhao Jingquan was still more cautious, with a faint smile on his face, and poured himself a cup of tea. As I said before, you have your position, and I have mine, but if it is wrong, it is wrong, and I will not refute it. In this regard, this cup is my apology for you. After Zhao Jingquan finished speaking, he drank without any hesitation. Chen Tianhui wanted to speak several times, but found that he really had no position to smooth things over. This game was originally meant to make some things clear. He even felt that there was something wrong with Huan Yu, but he just didn't dare to say it. If he could put everything on the table and say it, not necessarily a good thing. Zhou Gaikan is a bit sluggish. Is it really possible for you to come and go like this? Then the boss really admitted his mistake? Can this matter be settled? Transmigration looked at Chen Shen, thinking that if Chen Shen didn't know how to deal with it, he would take charge of the situation himself, but she saw that Chen Shen was also pouring tea. After pouring the tea, Chen Shen raised the cup and looked at Zhao Jingquan. I accept your apology. After saying that, Chen Shen drank it all in one gulp. Then the scene fell into an eerie silence. Chen Shen put down his cup and said, although it's not wine, it means the same thing. There is no big or small table on the wine table. Since the boss wants to spread out and chat, then I will spread out and chat. My choice to join Huanyu is not a decision I made casually. Huanyu is one of the best in the film and television drama production industry. I came here wanting to show off my skills, but I encountered a lot of bad things. Perhaps seeing that Zhao Ziyazai wanted to refute him, Chen Shen looked at him directly. Don't be in a hurry to refute me, just ask the driver. I have talked with him and people on the internet have misunderstandings about me. They all think I went to Love TV for girls, but I didn't know that my first priority from the beginning to the end was work. In my opinion, Love TV is a systematic understanding of actors, screenwriters, and directors. What a great growth! At first, everyone listened attentively. Even Zhao Jingquan was in a daze. Could this guy say something nice? Also acknowledged Huan Yu's film and television production side? After hearing this, I just wanted to roll my eyes. Chen Tianhui was stunned and looked at the tea brewing in front of him. He lowered his head and sniffed it. It wasn't wine. How could he be talking drunkenly? He stretched out his hand to avoid hitting the smiling person. He was complimented and there were important guests present. He had to respond. Zhao Jingquan responded, I quite like this attitude. You continue. Chen Shen smiled and said, if I continue, you may not like it. I joined Huanyu with great expectations, but was greatly disappointed. Of course, I was disappointed not only by the misunderstanding you mentioned, but also by Huanyu's system. Film and television production is comprehensive, and it requires good directors, good scripts, and good actors to brainstorm with each other to produce classic works. Does Huanyu have these conditions? After Chen Shen finished speaking, he looked at Zhao Jingquan. meaning do you want me to continue? Zhao Jingquan was pondering. At first, he thought that Chen Shen was the pride after the popularity of the love variety show. He did not release the repression of his debut in Black Gold, which was the result of his emotions. Now put it in his place, it doesn't seem so outrageous. People also said that he didn't choose Huanyu casually, but felt that Huanyu was one of the best in film and television production in China. This was said in front of Tan's Hiking, which was very objective. Calm down, does what Chen Shen said make sense? Of course it makes sense, but it's just impossible, and it's too idealistic. But combined with Chen Shen's performance, it seems to correspond to this person. Tan's Hiking felt a black line on her forehead. What's the matter? I came here to let you talk it out and make peace? Are you playing me? Zhao Jingquan did not respond. Chen Shen continued, so, Huanyu's decline is inevitable, because Huanyu's system is result-oriented and only sees the coincidence of the times. If the times change, Huanyu will be gone. Zhao Ziyazai could no longer hold back. Chen Shen, isn't that a bit too much? Let's talk it out, not for you to criticize unilaterally. Chen Shen still looked at Zhao Jingquan. Mr. Zhao, you are the boss of Huanyu. You know more about some things than I do. Is Jinyi really a good project? I left Hongdian and was more than just wronged. I believe you have a more specific judgment. Of course, I also hope that Huanyu will be well. Unconsciously, the style of the dinner changed. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 266. Zhao Jingquan stared at Chen Shen intently, a little unpredictable. Does this guy want to leave or not? You say he doesn't want to leave, he's making a lot of noise, throwing cups and cursing, and even ran to Xiaoqing I's live broadcast room to mock Huanyu. If he wants to leave, he's now openly criticizing and secretly praising, half good and half bad, and he's still in front of the people from Penguin. Even a fool can see that Tan's Hiking came for him. Or is it just to give Tan's Hiking some face, to vent his anger and praise a few times to show his vision? Doesn't Chen Shen understand what he said? He just can't do it. If there is a better project than Jinyi, who the hell will stay with Jinyi? No, there is a good project now. I studied Zhao Chunzhen's script all night yesterday. I can't say how good it is, but the overall integrity is stronger than Jinyi. Unconsciously, Zhao Jingquan stepped on Zhao Ziyazai's foot and started to exert force. Damn, Chen Shen doesn't seem to be difficult to communicate with, you have a pig brain, how come it has become like this? Although selling Chen Shen is pure profit, but what if Chen Shen can stay? Eat, I'm not a stingy person, as long as it's positive, I will correct it if there is any, and encourage it if there is none. Zhao Jingquan frowned. Chen Tianhui glared, no, can you listen to this? How many times have I raised similar opinions, which time did I take seriously? You started thinking after Chen Shen said a few words to you. Zhao Jingquan has a different perspective. His biggest point now is that he doesn't seem to know Chen Shen enough. In the past, he knew Chen Shen mostly from his son Zhao Ziyazai. Would he be a little biased? Of course, this emotional change is that he sees the greater interests behind it. Tan's Hiking couldn't sit still anymore, and immediately poured herself a cup of tea, then looked at Zhao Jingquan. Mr. Zhao, young people are like this, they say whatever they think, don't mind some words, since I'm here, I'll just be a middleman, and toast you a cup. After that, Tan's Hiking also drank it all. Although Zhao Jingquan immediately started to pour tea, he refuted, in fact, I can understand it, so I said it was a misunderstanding at the beginning, let's drink together, drink together. Then, the whole dinner was simple. Zhao Jingquan was confused, he was hesitating whether to really push Chen Shen out. Some things can't be thought about in detail. If Chen Shen can stay, What will the situation be? In the past, I thought that it was already a mess, and if I stayed, people wouldn't listen to you. If he went to Penguin privately, he would get nothing in the end and be caught off guard. What about now? It seems that they can communicate, and the most important thing is that Zhao Chunsheng also cooperated with Huan Yu. Will it be an opportunity? Zhao Chunsheng plus Chen Shen, good guy, I dare not think about it. Chen Shen's courage is getting bigger and bigger, and he looks at Zhao Jingquan from time to time. Mr. Zhao, Jinyi is really not good, you listen to me. Zhao Ziyazai wants to scold people, is he pushing his nose to his face? Just when he was about to refute, he uttered an ouch, and everyone looked at him. Zhao Ziyazai lowered his head, and cold sweat broke out on his forehead. The leather shoe stepped hard, and it felt numb. My father really killed me. What does it mean? People pointed at our noses and said that our trump card project is not good, and we just tolerate it? Even if the leader of Penguin Video is here, there is no need to be so humble, right? Tan's hiking sighed. She understood that the change in Zhao Jingquan's attitude was nothing more than his unrealistic thoughts about Chen Shen again. Why use this word unrealistic thoughts? Dead scumbag. This is the first time that Tan's hiking cursed Chen Shen in her heart with the 3 words of dead scumbag. In the past, she just called Chen Xiaoscum at most. Not only did he want to fish in love, but also in career? Chen Shen probably felt some of the shortcomings of the Zhao family's father and son's character. One is suspicious, the other is narrow-minded. Zhao Ziyazai can't tolerate his dignity being challenged, so he came to him openly on the day Zhang Ying was fired. Zhao Jingquan thought too much and was afraid that he would take action first, so he took the initiative to send that lawyer's letter to take the initiative. Similarly, as long as he acted unfamiliar with Penguin and criticized Huan Yu as if he was one of them, Zhao Jingquan would think too much, and the other side of suspicion is greed. After the dinner, Chen Shen went out, and Zhou Gaikan was still sitting in his seat thinking. He felt as if everything had happened, and as if nothing had happened. Everyone saw off the guests at the door of the building and watched the 2 cars drive out one after the other. Then Chen Tianhui and Zhou Gaikan also left one after another. Dad, even if we have a strategic reliance on Penguin Video, we don't have to do this, right? Besides, I scolded Chen Shen, which actually promoted the relationship between him and Mr. Tan. Isn't this implementing your decision? Zhao Ziyazai asked as soon as everyone left, with a face full of dissatisfaction. First apologize to show a wave of pattern, and then make a scene with Chen Shen to promote the relationship between Tan's hiking and Chen Shen, but it didn't get implemented at all. Zhao Jingquan sighed, don't work in the company in the future, really? Zhao Ziyazai glared, no, why? Because I'm your father, if you refute me again, I'll beat you directly. Zhao Ziyazai ran away angrily, like a wronged little wife. Zhao Jingquan's eyes were still looking at the door. Although he had some expectations in his heart, he was still a little nervous. Thinking carefully, the source of this matter was really my son who ruined it, because Pu Ben called Chen Shen back, and then it evolved into the current situation. I used to think it was Chen Shen's problem, but now it seems that I have a filter for my son. Of course, Chen Shen may also have problems, but it is definitely not as outrageous as Ziyazai told me. However, the wolf has been brought in by myself. Next, we have to see how Chen Shen and Tan's hiking negotiate. If they really have an agreement, they can only admit defeat. The negotiation is average and there is a lot of potential. Zhao Jingquan raised his head and looked at the sky. He himself didn't believe it. Is it my turn in this life that I, old Zhao, have some bad luck? What does that guy Chen Shen mean? Did you come back from Hongdian not just because you felt wronged? You came back because you thought Jinyi was not good enough? Could it be that Jinyi's project really stretches the crotch so much? It's really hard to say what kind of brocade clothes Ziyazai took the lead in making. If I think about it calmly, Chen Shen's words are already being merciful. The most criticized thing about Huanyu is the actors. They always lead the new ones and want to promote their own people and achieve high profits. This is what Chen Shen said. Huanyu only pays attention to the coincidence of the times. The result-oriented promotion, times have changed, and joy will naturally go downhill. If you didn't reflect in the past, there would be no breakthrough. If you don't reflect on the breakthrough now, then Zhao Jingquan's listed company would have done nothing. Zhao Jingquan felt that he should take a good look at the details of Lianzong when he went back and carefully judged Chen Shen. At the second intersection coming out of Huanyu, Chen Shen asked Zhang Benrui to stop. On the phone, Sister Myrna sent a message saying she wanted to chat. After a while, another black business car parked behind his own car. The door opened. Tan's Hiking got in and sat in the back seat with Chen Shen. Zhang Benrui understood that he had already gotten off the car. When Tan's Hiking got on the bus, he went to smoke with the driver behind him. Chen Shen sat sideways, facing Tan's Hiking. When she came over, she looked in the rearview mirror. Under the night wind, the silhouette illuminated by the car lights was very atmospheric. Do you think I am insincere? Or do you think I am biased towards joy? Or do you not consider us for this purpose? As for whether to go to Pengcheng or not, this condition is not a hard one. Tan's Hiking thought all the way, even after getting in the car, he hesitated for a while before asking these three questions. Chen Shen smiled, maybe my attitude was a bit rude. I apologize to you. I was just targeting people who are happy. Is it also aimed at giving Zhao Jingquan a feeling that he has sincerely thought about staying in Huanyu? Chen Shen shook his head, no, this is true. I really want to be happy. Ha! Tan's Hiking had questions in her head, and then came up with answers on her own, but Chen Shen's answer perfectly missed these answers. What joke are you talking about? One of them sent a lawyer's letter, and the other went to his competitor's house to live stream the fight. Now tell me that I really want the other person's good? Really, do you think I just signed a contract with a random company? I'm really optimistic about Huanyu, but the results are a bit unsatisfactory. Tan's Hiking looked into Chen Shen's eyes, as if judging whether Chen Shen's words were true. Unfortunately, his eyes were very calm and there was no feedback. Chen Shen asked Tan's Hiking to get in the car, not to tease her, and said, how could Penguin be insincere? If you were leaning toward Huanyu, you wouldn't have come alone. I've already answered the last question for you. I think get up wherever you fall. Give Huanyu another chance. Or do you think Zhao Jingquan can really listen to you? Tan's Hiking asked again. Chen Shen smiled, I won't answer these two questions. I'm very stubborn. I have to try even if the path I choose doesn't work. Tan's Hiking was silent, so is it really pure idealism? Lianzong's performance is just like what he said, just doing it for work? Not hurting anyone is not a scumbag, is this idealism? Tan's Hiking shook her head, and then looked at Chen Shen, because of Su Mo. She didn't let you go to Pengcheng? In business, if there is any offense, please forgive me. From my standpoint, with your current influence, Yugo Penguin basically cooperates with you in all aspects. You can choose any acting or variety show, and every project is created with you as the center. The smile on Chen Shen's face faded, and she still vaguely remembered Tan's Hiking saying that she knew Sister Mo. Chen Shen said seriously, she would not make such a request to me. Of course, there must be her reasons why I don't go to Pengcheng. Chen Shen's answer was a bit vague, but Tan's Hiking understood it, and after a long time there was a smile on his face, a smile that was out of business. Isn't this answer just male chauvinism? Now that Chen Shen is going to Pengcheng, he feels that his weight is too small to make Su Mo look good? This answer is really painful for Tan's Hiking. Tan's Hiking rolled her eyes and said, have you deceived yourself by pretending to be innocent? Su Yuan doesn't care anymore? Xiaoqing Ai doesn't care anymore. Chen Shen. Seeing Chen Shen frowning, Tan's Hiking burst into laughter. For a moment, Tan's Hiking felt that Chen Shen was a little cute. This guy was really defending Su Mo. If he signed Penguin and followed him, from Su Mo's point of view, he would really be laughed at by the Pengcheng gang. The man who asked Su Mo to stay in Yuzhou was brought to Pengcheng by Tan's Hiking? This point is indeed very interesting for Tan's Hiking. Seeing Tan's Hiking's smile, Chen Shen curled his lips and said, "Forget it, I feel like you are a business talker. You didn't talk to me in private. Instead, you came through Huan Yu. Aren't you just afraid that someone would watch your Tan's Hiking drama?" Tan's Hiking glared, "Don't neglect martial ethics. Chen Shen, it's you who didn't practice martial ethics in the first place. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me?" Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 267. In the car, Tan's Hiking realized that this person was difficult to deal with only after they had a real face-to-face chat with Chen Shen. According to his own words, he would not leave Huan Yu. Not only would he not, he would also give Zhao Jingquan some illusions that he could stay. The reason is because he feels that joy can be better, and he can get up wherever he wants to fall. Tan's Hiking naturally doesn't believe this statement. Could Huan Yu be better? Let alone her, the manager of the largest platform in the entertainment industry, let people in the entertainment industry talk about it, where can Huan Yu get better? Penguin's judgment on Huan Yu is to give it an at most. As Chen Shen said, Huan Yu's system has long had problems. They pay too much attention to the gameplay of popular artists due to the coincidence of the times. The era has passed, and Huan Yu has also passed. Unless fundamental adjustments are made, Huan Yu will need to devote his energy to creating works and then radiate to the entire entertainment industry. He will cooperate with whoever is suitable and only make money after the project is launched. This kind of adjustment was too difficult, and it was impossible for Zhao Jingquan to do it. Even if he wanted to do it, the joy at the moment couldn't withstand the struggle. Because Su Mo, you don't sign with us? Then you think Huan Yu can be better? Why choose the more difficult path? Even if Huan Yu devotes all its resources to you, the final destination will only be a good actor or idol, right? However, when you come to Penguin, you are the first person to incubate Penguin's local content. You can represent our Penguin video and use the platform to complete your own advancement. At that time, it is not a better choice to face Su Mo. Tan's Hiking adjusted her angle and analyzed it to Chen Shen. Chen Shen looked at Tan's Hiking. There was no direct answer to this question. Normally, what Tan's Hiking said is right. Penguin currently lacks a character that represents their entire platform. The ultimate embodiment of content incubation is also people. It's just that Chen Shen himself doesn't want to live this kind of life, one project after another. Similar to some popular TV hosts in previous lives. The status in the world is indeed high and the money is a lot, but what happens next? However, you can't answer like this, it seems like you look down on Penguin Video. So, Chen Shen said seriously, I am a very emotional person. If I have to find a reason to refute you, my reason is that Sister Mo's face is greater than my personal future. Tan's Hiking was stunned. It wasn't cold in the car, but she still shivered unconsciously. At this moment, Tan's Hiking was shocked. For a person with a career foundation, would he really think that relationships are more important than career? Are these words coming from the mouth of a scumbag? Chen Shen didn't say this to deceive or coax people. Tan's Hiking was from Pengcheng, and most likely he was the group of people who wanted to see Su Mo's jokes. He said this to save Su Mo's face. Do you think I will convey these words of yours to Su Mo? Chen Shen smiled and said, I've thought too much. There is a saying that a scholar will die if he is a confidant. Wasn't the love drama broadcast? Even if she was not optimistic about the situation, she was willing to lose a lot of money for me and try this entertainment industry. Why don't I think I can make a qualitative difference to Joy? Of course, saying this now is a bit bragging. Transmigration looked away at Chen Shen. She actually hated other people swearing, but Chen Shen said that she thought it was normal. Is this still a scumbag? Because a woman's face remains in Huan Yu. What a child's play, but it seems so weighty. So, Su Mo really didn't understand the relationship between men and women and was coaxed into degradation by a scumbag. Transmigration turned her head and looked out the car window. Instead of convincing Chen Shen, she was shaken. This was not coaxing, this was Chen Shen's actual action. She didn't believe that such feelings existed in this era, but it was right in front of her. Through all these things, in Transmigration's eyes, Chen Shen seemed to have gradually turned into a pure idealist. The sound of the car door opening sounded. Transmigration felt that the breakthrough was not necessarily with Chen Shen, so she got out of the car. Chen Shen, in fact, when I come, there will definitely be someone who will watch the show, especially if there is a situation where I can't take you with me, so I call this trip to Yuzhou an adventure. Transmigration left something that seemed a bit incomprehensible, and then walked towards the car behind her. Chen Shen looked in the rearview mirror at the figure with his hands in his pockets. He thought of Su Mo. The land in Pengcheng had indeed given birth to many outstanding women. The next day, the weekend, Su Mo's life was as usual. Get up early and jump rope, then check in with Chen Shen, wash your body briefly, then change clothes and go out. For her, there is not much difference between whether it is a weekend or not. The only difference may be that it is already a weekend, so how about taking a break to accompany Chen Shen? Most of the answers are no. Chen Shen's character is actually not good enough in Su Mo's eyes. He is too soft. He treats girls the same way and treats his career the same way. Needless to say, as for girls, people all over the country know that he is a scumbag. Of course, the current perception of this scumbag is a bit complimentary, because Chen Shen has indeed tried his best to prevent every girl from being harmed, and he himself give up on the popularity of romance. In terms of career, just as Chen Shen said, he is encouraging himself to pay attention to social values. For Su Mo, it is also the softness of Chen Shen's character. But I can't help but like it. The greatest romance of love probably lies in this: I like it. Because I like it, even if they have different cognitions, I am willing to listen and think about it, and then turn the other person's into my own. Su Mo's decision not to accompany Chen Shen was not entirely to create a routine for her own hard work. She now felt that the entire Chen family seemed to have a soft-hearted problem. Why was Chen Hotpot so bad at management? A big reason was because of the words kindness does not command the army, and righteousness does not command the money. Chen Ruxi had too much of a Jianghu atmosphere. Another way to say the Jianghu atmosphere was that he valued feelings. These people were strong in building a strong country, but they were really not good at management. Su Mo was reshaping the entire Qin Fangyu management structure, and she really had something to do. Who among the employees of Qin Fangyu was not afraid of Su Mo now? The rules were not only constrained in the office, but also in the major stores. She was playing the role of the black face. In addition to confirming the progress of the new store and the training of new employees in the morning, she was also thinking about Transmigration's coming to Yuzhou. What kind of feedback would she get when people in her circle began to contact Chen Shen? Did she think that I, Su Mo, was just like everyone watching the show? Or did she think that Chen Shen was indeed unique? The phone vibrated, and Su Mo took it from the desk. Myrna, can we meet? Su Mo burst out laughing, thinking that she would not look for herself. At noon, about 1 o'clock, a black business car drove into the gate of Qin Fangyu. Qin Fangyu occupies a large area, with 2 factories, an office building, and an internal apartment. These are all built after Chen Ruxi's expansion. Needless to say, the factory is a rigid demand. Hot pot base, most of the hot pot ingredients, are processed in his own factory and then distributed. In addition to the internal management, the apartment is also a transfer station for employees, who first go to the headquarters for training and then distribute to stores across the country. Transmigration looked at these and felt a little emotional. Su Emo seemed to have gained something every time she made a move. She originally thought that this catering would teach her a lesson, but she didn't expect it to become the hottest catering brand at the moment, with a stronger momentum than the previous times, and even made Su Emo complete a qualitative change. Now, let alone the circle, the whole network knows that there is a very powerful female investor in China named Su Emo. Transmigration pushed open the door of the office and walked in. The receptionist who led the way bowed slightly, then closed the door and left. Su Emo stood up. Sister Myrna, long time no see. The two were about the same height, but their styles were different. Su Emo was a noble lady, while Transmigration was gentle and mature. Transmigration crossed her arms and then put them down again. Long time no see. The two sat opposite each other in the reception area, and Su Emo had 2 cups of coffee brought in. During this period, the two looked at each other. They knew each other before, but they had never looked at each other so seriously. In Transmigration's eyes, Su Emo was a unique and outstanding person of the same age. In Sumo's eyes, Transmigration was a relatively outstanding person who had met several times. That was probably the impression. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 268. Well, when I was looking at you across the screen, maybe this day was destined. Transmigration shrugged and then made a self-deprecating remark. Su Emo raised her eyebrows. Her first reaction was that she seemed to have been hit by Chen Shen. That was so interesting. Do your own thing, why bother others? Transmigration took a sip of coffee and sat up straight. From a business perspective, you don't think Chen Shen is suitable to stay in Huanyu, do you? Didn't convince him. Who can convince him? Didn't you ask him to go to Pengcheng but he didn't go? Puff. Finally laughed, laughing at me for coming all the way here and hitting a wall. Su Emo really couldn't help it. This itself made her very happy. It turned out that after people in her circle came into contact with Chen Shen, it was not that they thought I was just so-so, but that I thought they were just so-so. Not really, so why did you come to me? Transmigration sighed, I want Chen Shen to go to Pengcheng, I am absolutely sincere, I promise not to treat him like Xiaoqing II, or you can say that, Penguin Video needs him now, even if we sign a contract, we are equal. Su Emo replied slowly, didn't you say that he wouldn't go to Pengcheng even if I asked him to? Transmigration glared at first, then lost her temper, okay, I'll tell you if you want to hear it, he did say that your face is more important than his future, and it's impossible for him to go with me. Huh, Su Emo was stunned for a moment, then asked again, my face is more important than his future. Transmigration rolled her eyes, do I have to explain it again? You, Su Emo, can't take someone away, will let me, Transmigration, take him away? And then work under me? He takes you into consideration and would rather believe that Huanyu can be reborn. The perspective is different, Su Emo really hasn't thought about this angle. Her attitude is as he said, what does what she does have to do with others? After thinking for a while, a bright smile appeared on her face again, but it was not what Transmigration understood, or what she understood was what Chen Shen deliberately created. Chen Shen's going to Huanyu has nothing to do with me. What if I can't take it away and I can't let you take it away? These are all false propositions. However, Su Mo can understand Chen Shen's intention to say these things, to save face for herself. She herself doesn't care about the thoughts of the group of people in Pengcheng, but Chen Shen cares. Tan's Hiking looked at Su Mo and laughed, which was really disgusting. It was not disgusting Su Mo, but disgusting herself. She told Chen Shen that she would not convey a message, but she still conveyed a message. Damn, from watching a joke to eating dog food. After laughing, Su Mo whispered, not bad. Tan's Hiking stared, not bad. That's it? Chen Shen didn't care about his own future for your face, and you are just really good. Tan's Hiking's face changed, and she could only continue, Boss Su, how about we set up a studio together? You, me, and Chen Shen each have a share, but this studio is under Penguin? This way you won't lose face, he will have better development, and I can report to the boss, what do you say? Su Mo thought about it, and then said seriously, forget it, it's good for him to stay in Yuzhou. Good? What's good about good? No, why are you like this? I can tolerate Chen Shen's idealism, but you, Su Mo, are not such a person. This is a career. The popularity of love variety shows is still at its highest point. The right time and place are the only thing missing. People are right. Su Mo leaned against the sofa, and then said lightly, I've stayed in Yuzhou, why did he go to Pengcheng? Tan's Hiking felt that she really couldn't keep up with the thoughts of these two crazy men and women. Is this a matter of who is where and who is not? This is a career with the right time, place, and people, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Chen Shen is willful for you, and then you, Su Mo, are willful yourself? Looking at Tan's Hiking's frown, Su Mo felt very comfortable. Chen Shen was not being willful for himself. He went to Huanyu with bad intentions, but he left this loophole for me. Don't understand, right? It's right not to understand. Although it's not true, it's quite refreshing. After savoring this emotion, Su Mo smiled and said, just kidding, Chen Shen's not going to Pengcheng doesn't mean he won't cooperate with Penguin Video. It's different. If there are any differences, I'll pay for it. Tan's Hiking felt a little tired. You pay for it? What to buy? Wait until Chen Shen uses his strength on Huanyu and finds it useless, and then you use money to smash him up. After talking with Chen Shen last night, Tan's Hiking felt that the breakthrough might be in Su Mo. Now it seems that Su Mo's eccentricity is not without reason, and there is no way to communicate. So where is the breakthrough? The two words Huanyu popped out of her mind. Okay, they are all crazy, right? Then I'll shake it too. A rapidly falling Huanyu, do you, Chen Shen, still think Huanyu can be reborn? Tan's Hiking stood up, goodbye. Su Mo still had a smile on her face long after Tan's Hiking left. She was originally worried that Chen Shen would fool Tan's Hiking and coax her. Isn't he always doing this? Unexpectedly, that guy forced Tan's Hiking to come to her. On Monday, Huanyu's stock market fell before it opened, just like last week. Before Su Mo started to operate, a piece of news from Penguin Video came out, saying that the leader of Penguin Video had gone to Yuzhou and was talking to Chen Shen about the termination of the contract with Huanyu. As soon as this news came out, Su Mo didn't need to operate at all, and a lot of people who bought Huanyu stocks couldn't sit still. They didn't sell their stocks before because they thought Huanyu would definitely save the market and couldn't let the collapse go. How can Huanyu save the market? There is only one way, which is to announce the settlement with Chen Shen. What about now? The news about Penguin has come out, and some leaders have already gone to Yuzhou. Why did the leaders of Penguin go to Yuzhou? They can't let Huanyu and Chen Shen reconcile, right? At this time, they have no choice but to cut their losses. As of Monday of this week, Huanyu has fallen back to its original market value, just over 1.9 billion. If there is no action tomorrow, it will really collapse. Huanyu Building, Zhao Jingquan's office. Zhao Jingquan has only done one thing in the past 2 days, which is to ensure the launch of the project. Dear, beloved. Yesterday, Yang Qingqing flew to Yuzhou. Zhao Jingquan took Zhao Chunsheng to have a good chat with Yang Qingqing and handed the script to Yang Qingqing. As long as Yang Qingqing nodded, she would choose the male lead, and she would talk to whoever was suitable for the project. I received a reply in the morning. Yang Qingqing agreed not to terminate the contract first, and the contract time could be postponed. For the first time, Huanyu showed a different cooperation model in front of Yang Qingqing, and also promised not to randomly stuff people in, but only respect the script. Chen Shen's words were like a curse. Times have changed, and joy is gone. The joy in the past could not change, but the joy now seems to be able to change. In the past, they were afraid of too much shock. Now the stock market is like this, and they are still afraid of hammer shock. Yang Qingqing stayed, and there was Zhao Chunsheng who had already signed the contract. This was Zhao Jingquan's confidence. When Zhao Jingquan saw the news from Penguin Video in the morning, he was not angry, but happy. Why? It shows that the effect of Transmigration talks was not ideal. If they had really talked well, such abrupt news would not have been spread. As for the stock market shock, let it shake. There is capital and hope. Zhao Jingquan is not really afraid this time. Just like he taught his son, any time is not necessarily smooth. The important thing is how to make the situation favorable to oneself. Even if Chen Shen was finally dealt with by Transmigration, it might not be a bad thing for Zhao Jingquan. At least there must be feedback from Penguin. With the cards in his hand, joy will definitely stand up again. Yuhan Hotel, Chen Shen only took a look at Huanyu's stock market in the morning, and stopped paying attention to it in the afternoon. It fell back to its original market value, and he could operate slowly next. After dinner, Chen Shen leaned on the sofa in the living room and sent a message to Mian Mian. Mian Mian, if your mother believes me, you can start paying attention to Huanyu's stock. Okay. Chen Shen could only provide a general idea. As for whether Su Mian's mother believed in him or not, whether she wanted to eat or not, it was up to her. Just as he was thinking about whether to ask Su Mian something else, there was a knock on the door outside. Chen Shen got up and walked to the door. As soon as the door opened, Chen Shen saw a familiar figure. Maybe she had just come back. Su Mo had light makeup on her face. Her facial features were originally delicate, and she looked more noble after putting on makeup. Chen Shen smiled unconsciously, but the next second, Chen Shen's smile froze on his face. Slim-fitting professional attire, hip skirt, slender and plump legs wrapped in a layer of textured black stockings, along the well-proportioned long legs, the stockings were dyed with the most natural gradient color by the plump white. "Don't you recognize me?" Su Mo said angrily. Chen Shen quickly made way and let Su Mo enter the house. "I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me?" Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 269. In the living room, Chen Shen's laptop was still on the coffee table. Su Mo had obviously returned to her own suite first, wearing slippers. Sitting where Chen Shen was sitting just now, he looked at the laptop screen, a bunch of scene descriptions and character dialogues. During the romance, everyone thought he was just playing computer games out of boredom, but it turned out that he was engaged in creative work. Due to the love affair, many people thought that Chen Shen was just playing around. For example, Chen Qinyu was actually still engaged in creation. From Sumo's perspective, the direction and ending of the drama put tremendous pressure on Chen Shen. As he said, he was forced to focus everyone's attention on the work to relieve the pressure. Now he is still creating every day, and his pressure is nothing more than the development of Huanyu after he truly wins the title. Su Emo wasn't very worried in the past. Even if Chen Shen couldn't support Huanyu's development, he would just pay for his dream. For Chen Shen, there were a lot of escape routes. Besides, I won't pursue this matter myself. Now it seems that this guy is actually under a lot of pressure, because he learned from Tan's hiking that he took his own face into consideration. If after taking over Huanyu, the outcome fails, from Chen Shen's point of view, it will also be a failure of his own investment, which will make those in Pengcheng who are watching the joke get their wish. Therefore, when Su Emo looked at the scripts written by Chen Shen, he realized that most of them were actually written for himself. Come here, Su Emo waved to Chen Shen. Chen Shen slowly sat down next to Su Emo. It was the first time he saw Su Emo dressed like this. Even if she was wearing stockings on Su Emo, it still highlighted the nobility of letting nature take its course. As soon as Chen Shen sat down, Su Emo reached out and took Chen Shen's arm. I'm a little tired, please lend me your shoulder. Chen Shen hummed, his body a little stiff. If Su Emo had followed Su Mo's original plan, it would have been impossible for him to take the initiative to have close contact with Chen Shen before clarifying Xiaqing's favor with them. What now? In other words, today, she didn't want to care so much. Just like what he said at Chen Shen's door the night before yesterday, if Chen Shen performs well when facing Tan's hiking, then he will be rewarded. Facts have proved that it does well. What Chen Shen did while in love involved other girls, and there was nothing that could be done at that time. Under love, everything Chen Shen did, except for the so-called dream, seemed to have something to do with him. Su Emo tilted her head slightly and leaned gently on Chen Shen's shoulder, feeling satisfaction that she had never felt before in her heart. At this moment, Su Mo's inner words are, it's okay, even if Huanyu fails in the end, it's okay. She has never cared about other people's eyes or rumors in her life. She didn't before, and she won't do it in the future, so don't be so stressed. Su Emo said these words in her heart. She was not tired, but felt that Chen Shen was tired. She leaned on Chen Shen's shoulder to comfort him. However, this kind of comfort cannot be expressed. It is a good thing that Chen Shen is rushing forward with all his strength. He cannot be discouraged just because he feels distressed and protective, because this is Chen Shen's own career. It was difficult for Chen Shen to look straight ahead. In fact, he had been avoiding this kind of scene. In the past, when I got along with Sister Emo, even if there were intimate actions, I felt that the atmosphere was warm and harmless, but it seemed different at this moment. The inner ties were too deep, and Chen Shen couldn't let go of the other people. If he was greedy for physical desires, it would be difficult to go far. As he said to Xiaqing, life is actually quite long. Therefore, Chen Shen was careful every step he took with them. The so-called scumbag quotes, if you don't take the initiative, don't refuse, you won't be responsible. Chen Shen only adheres to the first rule. It's right not to take the initiative, but you should refuse occasionally and be responsible. This is his attitude. Does it look good? Su Emo turned her head slightly and noticed Chen Shen's eyes on her legs, with a smile on her lips. She really liked stockings so much. I didn't understand. It smells so good. After saying that, Chen Shen regretted it. People asked if it looked good, so why did he reply that it smelled good? Although Sister Emo does smell very good, her body fragrance is really just right, just like the dazzling legs in front of her. Su Emo burst out laughing, then let go of her hand around Chen Shen's arm, leaned down, and slowly rested her head on Chen Shen's lap. I have worked hard for Qin Fangyu for so long, so I can't use your leg as a pillow, share it. Chen Shen sat upright, it's not too much. Su Emo checked on the internet and found that for boys, proper expression of dependence would give a great sense of satisfaction. Her so-called reward was not to satisfy some of Chen Shen's XP, but to make him truly relax. Feel. With a slight swing of his feet, the slippers came off, and then he lay down on the sofa. His head first moved to Chen Shen's knees, which seemed not as comfortable as expected, and then moved to Chen Shen's belly. Shift. It feels warm and has a faint scent like washed clothes. Sister Mo. Why don't you lie down in another direction? I think my legs are too high and would be uncomfortable to use as pillows. Su Mo was originally leaning slightly, but after hearing Chen Shen's words, she immediately turned her head and looked up at him. Chen Shen couldn't help but blush. Well, I may have to look at the computer or mobile phone, etc., and it will also affect your rest. Su Mo rolled her eyes. Stockings are really so tempting? However, Su Mo stood up, her cheeks were slightly red, and she really changed the direction. Counting from the side where Su Mo was lying, Chen Shen's sitting position was at most 2/3 of the sofa. Lying like this, his calves had to put it on Chen Shen's lap. Okay, Su Mo said angrily. Okay. Chen Shen deliberately didn't look down, but he could feel the little weight on his thigh. Something seemed to be ringing deep in his heart, and he couldn't keep the smile off his face. Su Mo pulled a pillow and put it under her head. When you look at me like this, do you have a double chin? Chen Shen looked over and shook his head, but he also pulled out a blanket and handed it to Su Mo. Su Mo followed Chen Shen's gaze and glanced at herself. Her face became redder and redder. The shirt was close-fitting. When she lay down like this, some gaps appeared between the buttons. She went back home first and then changed clothes. There is no base layer under the shirt. He took the blanket and covered himself, but it only covered his thighs. Chen Shen stretched out his hands to arrange it, and then covered Su Mo's entire legs. Su Mo suppressed a smile and said softly, "Don't you want to see it?" Chen Shen just laughed. Why? Because he didn't withdraw his hand. Su Mo felt something was wrong and looked up. When she saw Chen Shen's hand under the blanket, she rolled her eyes at Chen Shen again, but she didn't stop him. Originally, Su Mo wanted to talk about what kind of person she found out about Tan's hiking, but now that it's like this, there's no need to talk about work. Lying like this, he was able to adapt to some of Chen Shen's small movements. After a while, Su Mo moved a little, and then murmured, "Itchy." Su Mo said. Chen Shen restrained himself for a moment, and then looked at the computer in front of him. However, it was difficult to concentrate. The texture of the fiber and the soft and delicate touch occupied Chen Shen's brain. It stayed like this, with the two of them occasionally saying a few words. It wasn't until 10:30 that Su Mo got up with a sigh of relief. She was sleepy. Su Mo wanted to put aside the blanket, but Chen Shen didn't let him go. He was used to this temperature and was afraid of catching a cold. After sending Su Mo out, Chen Shen felt a little disappointed. If he had taken the initiative, would Su Mo have stayed? But what then? Not to mention what is going to happen, the main reason is that the situation cannot be closed. Sister Mo already has a huge advantage here, so she can't do it without restraint. At 11 o'clock, Chen Shen was lying on the bed, his head was full of legs and it was difficult to fall asleep. After tossing and turning, Chen Shen took the mobile phone from the bedside table and found Xiaoqing Ai's WeChat account. "Have you slept? Hey, why aren't you asleep at this hour?" Before Chen Shen could answer, Xiaoqing Ai's voice call came over. When the voice connection was connected, Xiaoqing Ai's voice sounded, "What's wrong?" "Fine. Is everything okay? Ha ha ha, you don't miss me, do you?" There was silence on the other side. Xiaoqing Ai might have thought that Chen Shen was in a bad mood, so he deliberately said this to tease Chen Shen. Unexpectedly, Chen Shen responded directly. After a while, Xiaoqing Ai said seriously, "Are there many requests from Penguin? I read the hot searches and heard that Tan's hiking came to Yuzhou, right? I have dealt with her, Don't she looks gentle on the surface, but she is actually very difficult to deal with. During the draft, she approached me when I was ranked in the top 12, and then she started talking to the company and insisted on signing a 3-party contract for 3 years before giving up. However, she is a nice person. During the 3 years I was at Penguin, she took care of me in every aspect and prevented a lot of trouble. Xiaoqing thought that this matter was bothering Chen Shen, so she started talking to Chen Shen about Tan's hiking from an objective perspective. Chen Shen then smiled and said, "I'm not afraid of her, I just want to talk to you." "Huh? Don't coax me. Really, I want to hear your voice." Xiaoqing I was silent again, and after 5 or 6 seconds, he hesitated and said, "You don't want to listen to my voice and do bad things, do you?" "I." Before Chen Shen could explain, Xiaoqing I's voice sounded again, "What did you just do? Where are you now?" Chen Shen said angrily, "Where can I be? Then what did you do just now? Why do you miss me suddenly? Do you want a reason to?" "I definitely have to. For example, when I came back from recording today to take off my makeup, when I saw the bench you were sitting on, I would think of what you said that day. This kind of motivation is very romantic. I will be very happy if you tell me." Chen Shen frowned, wondering what Xiaoqing I's motives were. His head turned around. Was it the emptiness he felt after being intimate with Su Mo? "Damn it, you really want to listen to her voice and do bad things, right?" Perhaps because Chen Shen had been silent for too long, Xiaoqing I asked again, "Did you meet Sister Mo today?" Chen Shen sighed, "You are such a clever little kid. I met Sister Mo and then thought of me, so that's why it's hard to tell, right?" He. Chen Shen had a smile on his face, and his restless heart slowly calmed down under Xiaoqing I's playfulness. However, the next second, Xiaoqing's words made his breathing quicken again. "Then do you want to do something bad?" "Ahem. I'm lying down too. I don't mind you doing this, really." Chen Shen took a breath. "Baby, is this okay? I'll keep my voice down. I miss you too. In fact, I really wanted you to stay that day. When we kissed me, I really wanted you to respond warmly to me. Do you still remember? I even licked your lower lip, he, are you listening?" Ye Chen Shen's voice was a little urgent. "Guess where my hands are, I feel my heartbeat is beating so fast, dong dong dong, let me tell you. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me?" Author, Qingzhou Mi Se. Chapter 270. The next day, when Chen Shen opened his eyes, it was almost 7 o'clock. This was the first time that his biological clock was inaccurate. Turning on the light, leaning on the bed, and looking at the shorts on the carpet, Chen Shen smiled a little embarrassedly. The phone was still next to the pillow. When he picked it up, he saw that Sister Mo had already sent him a question mark. 10 minutes ago, Su Mo sent Chen Shen her rope skipping check-in data for today. Chen Shen had not responded, so Su Mo sent a question mark. "I just woke up." "No way. That much of an impact?" Chen Shen scratched his head. It was indeed quite big. Just after getting out of bed, the phone vibrated again. It was Xiaoqing I's message, and he first sent a bunch of face-covering emoticons. "It wasn't me last night, it was definitely not me. I forgot, if you dare to say this, I will ignore you." Chen Shen laughed, and then typed a reply, "What did you say? What did you do last night? Did we contact each other last night?" If Chen Shen went online, he would find a lot of wailing on the internet. The love variety show had already ended, but there was still a sequel, and a lot of people were following it online, like watching a sequel. For example, Chen Shen and Xiaoqing were in a live broadcast together, but this live broadcast was too sudden, and many people didn't see it, and a lot of people were looking for the video online. Su Yuan was regarded as the biggest Cinderella of this era. Too many people followed Su Yuan because they wanted to see the sequel. Chen Shen was ready for everything. In the name of love, are you still willing? Now every time Su Yuan updates a video, the following is all "Are you still willing?" this stock. As a result, Su Yuan sequel was not waited for, but Chen Shen and Xiaoqing II sequel was waited for, and a song called Virtual was born. Some literary youths lamented online that Cinderella's love is indeed a fairy tale, and the ending of the fairy tale is only in the fairy tale. Many people also complained about Chen Shen again, saying that being a scumbag is his essence, and all the fake plays are fake. For every story, there are always people who find different focuses. Those who watched it for the setting at the beginning tried their best to defend Chen Shen online, scolding those who called him a scumbag. He just found the optimal solution for a game. How can there be a scumbag or not? Is there only love in your world? The ones who wailed were naturally the group of people who bought Huanyu stocks. They all showed off their accounts and scolded Huanyu in various ways. On Tuesday, Huanyu once again hit the limit down without any surprise, and the market value reached just over 1.7 billion. This time the wailing was really crying. The highest point was 3 billion, and there was no hope. Now it is not a question of whether to cut losses or not, but whether you can still save your money. Not to mention the shareholders who entered later, the original shareholders of Huanyu could not sit still. In the Huanyu building, at noon, in Zhao Jinken's office, he hung up the fifth call of the day, all asking about Huanyu stocks. Huanyu stocks have been circulating in the market for more than 10 years. Even he himself only has 17% of the shares. Most of the rest are circulating in the market, and some are held by each other through resource exchange. These people are anxious. Anyway, there is only one request, Zhao Jingquan, you can't give up. Zhao Jingquan was confident and appeased these people. What did Mr. Tan say? Zhao Jingquan looked across and asked. Chen Tianhui sat across from his desk. She said the talk was okay. Zhao Jingquan laughed. Chen Shen is really difficult to deal with. Maybe this is the side effect of high returns. I originally thought it was a hot potato, and now it seems to be true. Chen Tianhui frowned. What about us? It's okay, it's not a big problem. If someone comes to you, you can say that we have a plan. I really want to see where the bottom is. But Chen Tianhui is still worried. Even if Zhao Chunsheng comes and Yang Qingqing doesn't leave for the time being, he is still worried. Now a bunch of people who want to leave are trapped in the Huanyu stock market. If this group of people cannot be appeased, Huanyu's stock price will continue to fall. Zhao Jingquan smiled and said, give MS10 another day. If she still can't take Chen Shen, then you can spread the news. Chen Tianhui frowned, and after thinking for a while, he realized, let outsiders snatch it. Yes, she used us to force Chen Shen to make a choice, so we used some people who were watching from the sidelines to force her to make a choice. Maybe we can force a three-party contract. Chen Tianhui stared, then gave Zhao Jingquan a thumbs up. No wonder you are not in a hurry. Zhao Jingquan laughed again. Even a fool could see that the news about Penguin was deliberately released, but there was nothing wrong with it. Chen Shen himself also released it. Why release that news? If the talks failed, then cut off Chen Shen's retreat. Optimistic about Huanyu? The stock fell through, and still optimistic? Wednesday. The VIP cafe of Yuhan Hotel. Chen Shen has not been here for a long time. Tan's Hiking sat opposite Chen Shen, stirring the coffee in the cup with her delicate hands. She looked at Chen Shen and asked, do you still think Huanyu can be reborn? Chen Shen smiled. Huanyu's market value once again hit the limit at 10:30 this morning, and it was only a little over 1.5 billion. Driven by those with ulterior motives, the media began to report extensively on the so-called end of Huanyu. Some of the headlines were exaggerated, and even involved Chen Shen, saying that Chen Shen alone made Huanyu's market value soar by 1 billion, but it was also because of Chen Shen that Huanyu's market value plummeted by 1.5 billion, and there was no end in sight. One of the traditional film and television giants was truly heading for extinction. These reports are well-founded and list a number of popular artists who collaborated with Huanyu, but all of them ran away in the end. The production side that relied on Huanyu has not produced good works for nearly 3 years. The stock plummeting is like a magnifying glass, magnifying all questions of joy. Coupled with the continuation of the romantic drama, it is not an exaggeration to say that it has attracted the attention of the entire network. Those who are attracted by Chen Shen are honored, because this billion-level value fluctuation is caused by Chen Shen. Chen Shen actually wanted to say thank you to Tan's hiking. Can Huanyu's old shareholders sit still after such a fuss? Aren't you afraid that Huanyu will have a problem with you? Tan's hiking chuckled, aren't you forcing me? Besides, are these voices really related to me? Don't say you can't tell that Zhao Jingquan took the initiative to push you out. If you weren't stuck here, as long as you follow as soon as the news of Penguin's signing came out, these voices will still be heard. I just brought these voices forward and gave you a more objective perspective to understand Huanyu. The end of traditional entertainment companies is inevitable, because the entertainment industry only recognizes people. To put it another way, if Chase Hyla becomes a ratings icon, do you think he will still stay in Huanyu? Chen Shen nodded and was about to answer the call when his phone started to vibrate. He picked it up and saw an unfamiliar number. Chen Shen looked at Tan's hiking, who made a casual gesture. Hello. Ha ha ha, it's really a familiar voice. I'm sorry to bother you. I've been friends with you for a long time. My surname is Ma Nan. I just wanted to ask if your time is convenient. I want to visit you in Yuzhou and just want to make friends. Ma Nan, Chen Shen repeated. Ha ha ha, yes, I have a small position here at Kiwi Video, so I explained to you that if your time is convenient, I will come to visit you. I want to discuss with you the issue of variety show production. I watched Love Is Here after the class. I was deeply inspired and a lot of inspiration came to me. Of course, it was just a visit and there was no other intention. Chen Shen smiled and said, Mr. Ma, you're welcome. I'm just a free man. I still have time to chat. That's great. I'm going to fly to Yuzhou in the next 2 days. Welcome. Chen Shen hung up the phone, and then set up a number to avoid disturbing strangers. This was the number he changed after falling in love with a variety show, and it was still leaked. Tan's hiking frowned and said, Hey, I'm still here. Are you addicted to being a scumbag? Ma Nan, the vice president of Kiwi, why are you going to Kiwi? Chen Shen put down his mobile phone and said with a smile, there are a lot of vice presidents over at Kiwi. They all came to the door. They said we were just chatting. I can't refuse them all, right? Instead of worrying about me, you should worry about why he is here. Call me at this time. Tan's hiking crossed her arms in a defensive posture, and sighed after a long time. How could she have never imagined that Huanyu could also release news by herself? Tan's hiking's voice was much lower, it's really a risk. I'm really shocked. It's definitely not good to be associated with you. Chen Shen turned his head away from Tan's hiking. He wanted to change one of his problems, which was that he softened his heart when he saw a woman give in. There was indeed news released online, and it was released in an extremely bloody way. Shock? Did the leader of Penguin Video break up with Chen Shen? Where will Chen Shen go? Shock? The leader of Kiwi Video is buying a flight ticket to Yuzhou. Shock? Chu Fei, the boss of Yuan Media, has landed in Yuzhou. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 271. Beside the wooden table, Chen Shen was browsing his phone while drinking coffee. Transmigration crossed her arms and kept looking at Chen Shen's face, as if she wanted to bite him. 2 minutes ago, Qian Zhonghui, the president of Penguin Video, sent a WeChat message to Transmigration, asking if there was any change. Damn, it seems that everyone in the circle knows that he has not dealt with Chen Shen. Logically speaking, it is related to his own future. Huanyu's reputation has fallen to the lowest point now, but he is not in a hurry at all. How can it be like a copper wall and iron wall, with no breakthrough? Is he addicted to being a scumbag? Now a lot of people are talking about Huanyu online, especially those fans of artists who have been consumed by Huanyu's old and new. They have long wanted to complain about Huanyu. Not to mention those who have left, even Yan Jiacheo, a fan of Huanyu, is complaining, saying that a company like Huanyu should have closed down long ago. They only know how to exploit those who help them build their empire, and then support some inexplicable people. This matter is becoming an independent hotspot. Huanyu has been established for more than 20 years. Many artists have signed contracts with Huanyu, especially the batch of traffic artists who became popular after the listing, that is, before Yang Qingqing signed Huanyu. At that time, Huanyu was in its heyday and could suppress Yuan media. Yang Qingqing signed Huanyu at that time. As a result, after she signed, only Yan Jiacheo left. After 5 years, perhaps only the 3 words cheated can describe Yang Qingqing's cooperation with Huanyu. The fans of these traffic artists are a huge group in themselves, and they are all complaining, slowly forming an independent hotspot. Transmigration doesn't believe that Chen Shen will stay in such a Huanyu. The phone vibrated, Transmigration picked up the phone, looked at it for a few times, and pushed it in front of Chen Shen. Chen Shen looked up, what does it mean? But he still looked down for a few times. It was a message sent by Chu Fei to Transmigration. Boss Tan, you didn't really fail to deal with Chen Shen, did you? Since this morning, a bunch of people in the industry have called me and praised me for being awesome, saying that I managed to deal with Chen Shen with just Xiaoqing II. I've been hypnotized and believe it a little bit. Can you help me ask Chen Shen if this is what he meant? If so, I'll go back to Yuzhou now and give him 5 points of shares for free. Seeing that Transmigration's delicate face began to have a lot of thoughts, Chen Shen was surprised and said, you don't think that what I told you yesterday was a lie, and the truth is that I'm going to Yuan Media like what Boss Chu said. Transmigration came back to her senses and frowned, saying, it's hard to say. The whole network says that you are a romantic. I seem to have overlooked one thing, Xiaoqing II and Su Yuan are also in Yuzhou. Chen Shen. Transmigration felt that she had caught the most correct answer. What makes Huanyu good? That's all bullshit. Is Su Mo a fool? Definitely not. Chen Shen must be very good to Su Mo, so Su Mo can say such words as paying for Chen Shen. Is Chen Shen good to Xiaoqing II and Su Yuan? The whole network knows that he is very good. Su Yuan is now the fastest person to increase fans on Xiaohongshu. It is said that the quotation for a picture and text advertisement has risen to 600,000, and he does not need to do anything, just post pictures and texts. Not to mention Xiaoqing II, some time ago, he also live broadcasted together to help Xiaoqing II consolidate fans. Now the fans of Xiaoqing II are the ones who scold Huanyu the most. They are standing up for Chen Shen. It seems that only this answer is the most reasonable. Chen Shen stayed in Yuzhou because the 3 women were in Yuzhou. Transmigration sighed, so, she lost because she didn't believe in love? Because she sneered at love and thought that Chen Shen would definitely choose Penguin to follow her, So she fell into a passive position from the beginning? This answer is really absurd for Transmigration. Of course, she didn't disbelieve in love, but she thought that the option of love was the least important option. The emotions brought by love have far more negative effects than positive effects for Transmigration. For Transmigration in the past, being obsessed with love was like watching a kid or a fool's game, which was also the core reason why she looked at Sumo like a play. However, this perception seemed to have begun to change in a scumbag. Can I ask you 3 questions? I promise you with my professional ethics that I will not tell anyone and will not have any opinions about you. Transmigration looked at Chen Shen and said. Chen Shen put down his phone, ask. Do you love Sumo? Yes. Do you love Xiaoqing II? Chen Shen nodded. What about Su Yuan? Yes too. Ridiculous questions, ridiculous answers, but both of them were very calm. Transmigration had a complicated expression, so, the whitewashing at the end of the love show was not your intention to whitewash yourself, but that the ending was the best for Su Yuan. Chen Shen nodded, yes, if you watch carefully, you can see that many of my actions in it are to actively seek criticism. I don't care about the audience scolding me at all, and I have never thought about whitewashing myself. Transmigration looked at Chen Shen, and a smile slowly appeared on her face, then pursed her lips, wanted to sigh, but held back. The adventure in Yuzhou actually confirmed a fairy tale. Did I have a wrong understanding of so-called love before? Or did some past experiences and things around me limit my understanding of love? Chen Shen's love seemed to be all positive. Sumo is in good condition, more beautiful than the last time I saw her, and her career is also very good, and she still maintains her undefeated myth in the investment industry. Xiaoqing, who was confirmed by herself to be on the decline, has been reborn after returning to Yuan. At present, she is the most talked about idol on Weibo and there is no one else. Su Yuan has changed even more. She used to be just an office worker. So why did Chen Shen go to Pengcheng with him? He didn't care about the so-called career at all. He only cared about them. Transmigration said faintly, dead scumbag. Chen Shen shrugged. In fact, he himself didn't realize this problem. Transmigration said that because Xiaoqing II and Su Yuan were also in Yuzhou, he didn't go to Pengcheng. Chen Shen found that he really couldn't refute it. Unconsciously, this matter really became the reason why he stayed in Yuzhou. Chen Shen sighed and said, so, why do people like me need a good reputation? Don't worry about it. I tell you these as the most sincere feedback for your appreciation and attention to me, even if it makes you think I am a scumbag. Transmigration opened her mouth, but didn't say anything. I don't know why, I instinctively want to refute Chen Shen, want to say these 4 words, it's normal, but is it really normal? As far as I am concerned, no matter whether it is men or women, many people have so-called mistresses, but they seem to be fundamentally different from Chen Shen. In fact, her curse of dead scumbag was not derogatory, but she just couldn't explain it to Chen Shen. You don't have to worry about becoming a show like Sister Mo if it doesn't work, stay in Yuzhou for a few more days and you will understand. There are some things that I originally wanted to do in a low-key manner, but now it seems that I can't keep a low profile. After saying this, Chen Shen took the last sip of coffee, then stood up and left. Transmigration stared at Chen Shen's back as he left, stunned. I'm just being paid to be on a dating show, why do you choose me? Author, Qingzhou Se. Chapter 272. On Thursday, the market value of Huanyu hit the 6th limit down, and the total market value reached just over 1.3 billion. The entire Huanyu building seemed to be shrouded in a heavy pressure. From 10 a.m., the front door of Huanyu began to be busy, with vehicles coming and going. There was no room in the open-air parking lot, so they drove to the underground parking lot, and then several people with journalist credentials came down, some with microphones, and some with cameras. At 2 p.m., in the office, Zhao Jinkin's expression was no longer as relaxed as in the past few days. A few days ago, he thought that even if Huanyu fell to 1 billion, what would it matter? As long as Zhao Chunzhen's project was done well and Yang Qingqing stayed, he would dare to buy back Huanyu's shares to stabilize the market value, and then use the project and results to speak. As long as the quality of Zhao Chunzhen's project was up to standard, why couldn't the second move of the director who created the myth of love variety show save Huanyu? However, the wind direction changed drastically in the past 2 days, and the old and new that they relied on sowed bitter fruit, and many artists who had been used by Huanyu before began to bite back. Even a first-line artist liked his own fans' blog posts scolding Huanyu on Weibo. The tendency to think Huanyu is doomed after this kind of heat is a fatal flaw. Zhao Jingquan is afraid that even if there are projects to support it, the capital market will think Huanyu is a junk stock and it will be difficult to turn around. So, there must be action. Mr. Zhao, everything is arranged, let's move. Chen Tianhui appeared at the door. Zhao Jingquan nodded, stood up, and deliberately adjusted his tie before going out. The auditorium on the third floor was filled with reporters at some point. Under the bright lights, it was full of heads. The moment Zhao Jingquan appeared, the flashlights in the whole venue lit up. Huanyu's executives sat in a row, and Zhao Jingquan sat in the middle. The press conference was notified at the last minute yesterday afternoon, but even so, the reporters who came were still full. Chen Shen knew last night that Huanyu was going to hold a press conference, Zhou Gaikan said so. There are still many people who pay attention to dating shows, and with the backlash from the fans of those artists, the 4 words Huanyu is at its end have indeed begun to form a trend. It seems that in just 1 or 2 days, everyone thinks that Huanyu is going to go bankrupt, and some people applaud and say that they deserve it. Of course, Chen Shen was not at the scene. He was sitting in the study room of the hotel watching the live broadcast. On Douyin, a bunch of people were live broadcasting Huanyu's press conference. He was watching the live broadcast of a person named Feng Xiaoki, who has more than 4 million fans. He was also a TV host in the circle, and later went into the media industry. This person will not miss anything in the entertainment industry, let alone the current hot event of Huanyu. Even if an artist is exposed for his poor acting skills, he can make a video. In the live broadcast, Chen Tianhui spoke first. Let's get straight to the point. There have been a lot of rumors about our company online recently, which have affected the overall operation of Huanyu, so I have to explain to everyone. Let me first explain our response. First, I apologize to Huanyu's shareholders. Huanyu has not ignored the stock market, but the stock market is changing rapidly, and any rescue action has a delay. Second, regarding Chen Shen, Huanyu will not drive away any artist. As long as Chen Shen is willing, Huanyu will always open its doors to him. It's just that there are some misunderstandings between us and him at present, and we have been actively communicating. Third, Huanyu has never implemented the so-called old-to-new system. All our projects are designed to satisfy our own artists as much as possible. We have always been committed to professional improvement on the production side and have never changed. Chen Shen laughed out loud. Chen Tianhui is still strong. He talks nonsense without blinking. And from his standpoint, his words seem to be really right. He is a talent and should be kept. The comments were so dense that it was hard to read. Most of them were fans of some artists, complaining about Huanyu's various evil deeds, and there were also many comments that mentioned themselves. For example, some people said that Chen Shen was not present, so this press conference was useless. Others said that it seemed that the conflict between Chen Shen and Huanyu was completely aroused, and there was no such occasion. From time to time, the voice of the host of the live broadcast room, that is, Feng Xiaoki, could be heard. Brothers, let's not rush, let him finish speaking. What do you want me to ask? Click on the public screen, I will remember it first, and we will ask questions later. Ask Yang Ching Ching. Okay, I will remember this question. Why did you take away Chen Shen's project? There is no need to click on this question, I will definitely ask it. You may not know me because you are watching my live broadcast for the first time. I respect Chen Shen very much, little fans understand? My mind is full of questions about Chen Shen and Huan Yu, I will ask them to death. The comments were full of ha ha ha. After Chen Tianhui finished speaking, he looked at the crowd and said, that's all. If you have any questions, you can ask anyone among us now. We will answer you with 100% sincerity. Since there are so many friends present, we have to make a limit. If the microphone is given to you, we will only ask 3 questions, okay? Thank you for your understanding. The staff began to pass the microphone, and the auditorium began to make a noise. At least 67 people were sitting there, and they all raised their hands. The staff was considerate and gave the question to a reporter from a more important financial column first. Hello, Mr. Chen, thank you for giving me this opportunity to ask questions. Let me ask directly, so as not to waste everyone's time. My first question is, do you think the plunge in Huanyu's stock price is due to Chen Shen? Or is it because of the problems mentioned online now, such as old people bringing up new people? The concept of production is backward, etc. When Chen Shen saw the barrage, he started to put exclamation points. Reporters have some skills, and the first question is a big one. Chen Tianhui glanced at Zhao Jingquan and asked who should answer. Seeing Zhao Jingquan looking at him, Chen Tianhui opened the microphone in front of him. Okay, let me answer you. Before answering, I have to emphasize that Huan Yu has never been called old. With the new system, as for the reason for the plummeting stock price, I have to admit Chen Shen's current influence. Let me give you a data explanation. After the finale of the love drama, even Penguin Group's stock price rose slightly. This kind of influence is not to mention our Huan Yu. I think we are extremely sincere. After the misunderstanding with Chen Shen, we made a public explanation as soon as possible because we were afraid that our shareholders of Huan Yu would be affected. Thank you Mr. Chen for your generous answer. I can really feel Mr. Chen's sincerity. Let me ask the second question. This question must also be a question that everyone wants to know. Since you also think that the plummeting share price of Huan Yu is because of Chen Shen, why do you still, if there is a so-called misunderstanding, we, including the shareholders of Huan Yu, must want to know what efforts you have made on this matter? The reporter from the financial column asked the second question. Chen Tianhui frowned. This problem was a bit beyond what he could handle, and he had to look at Zhao Jingquan. Zhao Jingquan leaned forward slightly and turned on the microphone. Times have changed, the online situation is changing rapidly, and the stock market fluctuates immediately. At this time, the only way to do it is to use the stupidest method, which is a press conference. Zhao Jingquan tried the sound of the microphone first, and then said, let me talk about the misunderstanding first. I was not in Yuzhou when it happened. There may be some discrepancies, but with a responsible attitude, I am still the one to answer this question. Just like the announcement we made, we welcomed Chen Shen with both hands when he joined Huan Yu, and immediately offered all the current Huan Yu projects for him to choose from. As everyone knows, Chen Shen chose Jinyi, too. The best project we have right now. The filming of Jinyi had already started. They were temporary additions. This is also our sincerity. You can't say that this is just the old bringing up the new, right? After Chen Shen joined the project, he got the approval of the car director. After only 2 interviews, he was given another job. He adjusted his role, and his role was equivalent to that of the third male actor. At that time, the romantic drama had not yet aired, and we had no idea that he would be so popular, but we made an unusual arrangement because he was suitable and capable. However, such an arrangement is bound to cause misunderstandings. Everyone in our circle must know that these contradictions are unavoidable. If a new person is added temporarily and his role is adjusted, there will inevitably be friction. Then this friction breaks out. Indeed, it was because we didn't handle it right the first time that conflicts continued to accumulate, to the point where both parties didn't want to communicate. I am not saying this to avoid or quibble. I am telling you that we don't want this either. Chen Shen certainly doesn't want this either. But if you don't understand how people get along with each other at the first time, then different people will intervene in it, and the misunderstanding will be there. It is inevitable that I would also take this opportunity to sincerely apologize to Chen Shen. If Chen Shen is still willing to give us this opportunity, as Mr. Chen said, the door to joy will always be open to him. Speaking of this, Zhao Jingquan took a sip of water, and then continued, as for what you said about the efforts we have made for the stock market, you must have seen some of our attitude above. As long as Chen Shen is willing, we can always cooperate. Of course, I knowing that the market is cruel, no one is willing to pay if it is just attitude, so we are also working hard in another direction. 2 days ago, we established another S-class project. Now that we have entered the casting stage, I see that everyone is wondering, yes, why are we doing a new project at this time? Because we feel that this is the greatest responsibility to our shareholders, and we attach far more importance to this project than Jinyi. Because the heroine of this project is Yang Qingqing and the director is Zhao Chunsheng. When Zhao Jingquan talked about Chen Shen, there was a lot of discussion below. It seemed that he had answered, but in fact he was avoiding the key point. He only talked about the positive side of Huan Yu, such as the matter of Chen Shen going to Hongdian, but he didn't say how to deal with it. This matter was almost picked up on the internet. Those extras made a lot of money because of this matter, and they trembled from time to time. The audio blogger went to see them. At first, he treated them to dinner, but later it became a charge. That's what happened. Huan Yu's response was to ignore Yurubin, call Chen Shen back, and fire his agent. Zhao Jingquan didn't say anything about this. However, he immediately revealed another bombshell news. Huan Yu's new project not only has Yang Qingqing as the heroine, but also the director is Zhao Chunsheng. The scene was in an uproar, and someone shouted for confirmation, asking them if the director was really Zhao Chunsheng. Zhao Jingquan smiled and nodded, yes, it's director Zhao Chunsheng. Don't think too much about it. Director Zhao himself is a well-known director of puppet dramas. After falling in love with variety shows, we found him, and it happened that he also had a script that he was interested in. It was just based on the project. We hit it off immediately. Chen Shen was okay, after all, he was the one who arranged this matter. It's just that I couldn't stand the barrage anymore and started to post question marks like crazy. What does it mean? Zhao Chunsheng stabbed Chen Shen in the back. Before the conflict between Chen Shen and Huan Yu was resolved, why on earth did you go to cooperate with Huan Yu? Is this really fake? I was just asking why Huan Yu was holding a press conference. I didn't expect that she would hold back such a big move. Director Zhao is confused. You said you want to thank Chen Shen. You are lucky to have met Chen Shen. But what are you doing at this time? I'm so convinced. Is this a rumor refuting? Isn't this obviously bullying Chen Go? Sabi, combined with what he said before, isn't this obviously telling Chen Go that Huan Yu doesn't care whether you are there or not? Zhao Chunsheng, I'll remember you, I'll be a dog watching your show in the future. The live broadcast room was full of noisy voices. What Zhao Jingquan said was very informative, disturbing the reporters on the scene. Not only did some people doubt and shout to confirm the authenticity of this matter, but some people also temporarily modified the questions they wanted to ask and talked with the people around them. Brothers, don't worry, I'm a little red hot too. Bullying my idol is bullying me. Zhao Chunsheng, that bastard, Doesn't seem to be here. You guys wait for the microphone to be in my hands, damn it. Feng Xiaokai's voice rang out in the live broadcast room.